Hey guys, what is up? Shadolance back for another review. Today I'm going to be doing a machine gun, which I don't do very often because they're not good for elim. They have never been good for elim, they will never be good for elim, and I don't expect them to, ever be good for elim. They have terrible damage drop-off in general, they have not as good of a fire rate as an SMG, they are very heavy, they are not very graceful, and their reload takes forever, so I've never really liked using machine guns. They are good for fire team if you know how to use them the right way, but they're just not particularly impressive. You can do much better with an SMG with a high magazine, so much faster killers. And per the damage, it's not particularly useful. If the damage was more like 60 or 70, then I feel like it'd be worth it, because then you could really clear crowds quickly per the fire rate. But anyway, they do typically have a pretty fast rate of fire. It's similar to that of an assault rifle, maybe slightly faster. So yeah, I mean, most assault rifles don't go above 75, 76, and a lot of these can reach upwards of, upwards of that. Some of them. This one doesn't, but some do. At any rate, so this is the M2 Browning, a First Lieutenant 3 weapon. It is GP, despite the fact that I don't know if this was a good idea to ever release this weapon. Apparently it's a World War II weapon. Yeah, it's currently the second most powerful primary weapon in the game. It's not a sniper rifle or shotgun. The most powerful, I'm pretty sure, is the M1 Garand. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. I'm also not including semi-automatic snipers, if you were wondering about that. Semi-automatic. I just realized I said something weird, and that was kind of like, wait a second, what did I mess up? Anyway, the ammo capacity is the standard 100 of 100. You can still put an extended magazine, or in this case, you might want to put a fast loader magazine. That's what most people like to do with machine guns anyway. So, it is fully automatic. The only machine gun with a burst mode that is NX is NX, and I believe it's the M21E. I don't know. I don't really think there's any more than that. I also don't think I get anything above a double kill in this entire review, so don't expect much. I suck with machine guns, and I said that right off the bat, and I mean it. So, anyway, going over stats. Sorry it took me so long to get here. Damage is 53, very, very high damage. Portability is only 10, so incredibly low portability. Possibly the lowest in the game. I'm pretty sure that is the lowest in the game. The portability is only 10. The rate of fire, and this is with a recon vest, Patriot, Skull Mask, and Shopka, by the way. The recoil is the rate of fire is 72. Recoil being 72 would be ridiculous. Accuracy of 57, and recoil is actually 74. So okay, that is still ridiculous. The recoil on this gun is statistically ridiculous, but it doesn't actually feel that bad. To be honest, machine guns have never actually felt like they have the recoil for the statistic they have. The accuracy is 57, so it's relatively accurate for a machine gun. The spread actually is pretty variable, but if you crouch, the spread is actually surprisingly low. The only machine gun I would ever really consider using in, actually there's three. Any of the RPKS series, any of the M21E series or M21 series are all quite good. And the new Minimi Para are all quite good. Actually, I suppose the MG36 is quite good too. If you had to use a machine gun for elim, those are the only ones I would really consider. Any other of them are kind of useless. If I had to say an early machine gun to use in fire team, because a lot of early ranks like using machine guns, I would probably say the RPK is a good place to start. That's just typically a nice spot to start for that, because the recoil is pretty low and the spread can be controlled easily. And the recoil pattern is also quite easy to control as well, so I would recommend the RPK for anyone that wanted to start off using machine guns. The MK48 is good, but the recoil pattern is kind of hefty and it can be difficult to control for the pattern. But anyway, yeah. So the damage drop-off is not the worst by a long shot. It's just damage drop-off is never good on machine guns, so in general it's not good. It's still typically a 3 to 4 shot kill, just like an assault rifle. And considering that an assault rifle has the faster reload per the ammo, and the fire rate to go with it, and the damage drop-off, and the damage statistic, it's far more worth your time to get a good assault rifle that has high ammo, like a 35 of 105 ammo capacity. My grenade just disappeared there. That was weird. And my second one blows up, but I don't know where my first one went. That was kind of weird. It disappeared or something. But anyway, it's not a popular gun, because no one ever uses machine guns. Machine guns are horribly broken in this game. If machine guns had an even faster fire rate, and, if they had a machine gun that had an even faster fire rate but a lower damage, like if they had, and I don't mean the minigun, I mean a legitimate primary weapon that wasn't a spec weapon, that had a faster fire rate but kept higher damage than the minigun, but was still super ridiculously unportable like this. This should be the portability for a machine gun in my idea. Yeah, like for example, the Bren light machine gun is probably the closest to what I would actually expect a real machine gun at. Although I know it is obviously not as however you want to say, not portable. It is more portable than a lot of other machine guns, so that aspect's still kind of broken. Also, by the way, the Bren light machine gun is a forged machine gun. It is not one you can just buy. I forget what you forged it out of though. It might be the RPK, so I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, I am kind of limited on my knowledge of machine guns because I never use them. One thing I do know right off the bat though is the M2 Browning is, for lack of a better way to put it, freaking huge. This thing is as long. I can't speak today. This thing is as long as the average sniper rifle. It is gigantic. So it will stick through almost any surface in the game. It is ridiculous. But on the upside, there's one upside to this weapon. It's pretty cheap as far as like weapons that you might want to use go. It's only $1,400 per day, and at First Lieutenant 3 you should be making plenty of money to be able to afford this weapon. For 7 days, it's looking at, I think it's a 6,800. Yeah, just over 6,800 GP for 7 days, so it's a relatively cheap machine gun, so that's worth it. I guess I'll go ahead and read off the Arsenal's, description of the gun. A heavy machine gun, you don't say, from early war since World War I, apparently, actually, nicknamed Medusa. Okay, then. It's extremely heavy and unwieldy, you don't say, but produces a 50 caliber rain of death for anyone dumb enough to get in its path. Well, that's about accurate. It's relatively accurate for a machine gun, and it typically kills pretty fast when all the bullets make contact, but the problem with machine guns is the bullets don't always all make contact. So that's one of the reasons this gun is, as they put it, unwieldy, because it both has trouble making contact with bullets and it's not portable. I guess that could mean one or the other. In other words, it's not a very efficient killer. You're better off with a P90 or a PP19 that has a high ammo capacity, fast fire rate per the damage, and a much faster reload than this piece of crap. So honestly, I don't like machine guns. I know I am gonna rate this gun in comparison to other GP guns, but I'm not gonna rate it in comparison to other machine guns. So it's still gonna score incredibly low, possibly like a 5 or a 6. It's still gonna score really low. And a lot of you are like, "Oh, why do you rate guns so low these days?" And it's like, well, you have to think about low in comparison to what? Low in comparison to the way I used to rate guns? Yeah. It's low, because I used to rate all guns above 7, pretty much. It was rare to find one below that. But after I really got to thinking, it's kind of like, well, if 1 is supposed to be terrible, that means 10 is excellent, or like the best gun in the game, and 5 is still decent, like it's still a usable weapon. It's just, there are some things that could be better about it. So you really have to think about it. The rating doesn't, getting a 5 doesn't mean it's an unusable weapon. Getting a 7 doesn't mean it's like not going to be the #1 weapon you use. I mean, honestly, I gave the Tar series like a 3 or something like that because it's so broken and there are almost no variants of it that are good. So that's why I gave that series such a bad score. The L85 A1s as well, not the mods. The mods are fine, but the basic A1s in the Mark IIs are horrible. So I gave them bad, I gave them bad stats. But anyway, I am kind of done talking about this gun in particular. It's not a particularly fun gun. I don't even find it fun to use, really. It's just kind of boring. I don't like machine guns. There's no skill involved in spraying. It's kind of fun when you have with a minigun. It's just funny how fast the fire rate is, because you can just watch people just fall over. That's not so true with this, because the fire rate is lower. The fire rate's only like, what I said, 72? Something like that. So, anyway. Please subscribe to my new channel here, guys. I am trying to get to 500 subs as fast. Oh, I did get a multi-kill in this review. I am trying to get to 500 subs as fast as I can. Talk about ADHD much, but ADD, whatever. Attention deficit disorder, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so please sub to this channel, guys. I am trying to get to 500 subs again as fast as possible. If you guys didn't know, I am using my new microphone again. I know I used it in my last review as well. But thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching this review. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Do not forget to check out my Facebook group, Shadolance. No 1 at the end, just Shadolance. You guys should know how to spell that by now. But thank you for checking me out. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I am sure I will see you guys in the next video. Please recommend videos that you guys want to see, and I will do my best to get them done. Thank you for watching. Shadolance out.
You know what? Given the intelligence of the people who watch this show, this is probably a good thing to teach. Because my guess is when they're not trying to operate heavy machinery with their butt cheeks, they're probably trying to do something stupid like this! I mean, what else could you possibly teach that would be as stupid as that?
Even you can learn something from a sloth.
Fuck this show!